Greetings, everybody. How are you today? This is the live teacher Antonio J. Watkins with the PE lesson, Personal Empowerment. And today we want to talk about through the other lens. Okay, let's work out. Let's get optical. If you think about lens, there are different types of lenses used with many different uses. If you're around the house and you want to see something bigger, you may be reading a book or reading the newspaper, you may use a magnifying glass. There's some people who need prescription contact lenses or eyeglasses, and they have to have those to be able to see accurately. You have biologists who use microscopes to be able to see the most minute of an item. You have astrologers who use telescopes so they can see extremely far away and to get a spectacular view of it. You have photographers who use different types of lenses for their cameras. You have hunters who use rangefinders to be able to see, also use scopes when they're actually hunting their game to make sure they can actually see it up close as if they were right there with it. You have binoculars. You may be on a hiking trip or you may be mountain climbing, so you may use binoculars so you can actually see something that looks like is right there in front of you, even though you know it's a long way away. And think about that note right there. Seems like it's in front of you, but it's a long way away. And if you look at your personal life, you think about your eyes. What do your eyes see? What do your eyes see when you think about your life today? What do your eyes see when you think about your future? What do your eyes see when you look at the mirror at that person who is just so awesomely spectacular? What do you see when you do that? Okay? Are you seeing enough? And the reason I ask, are you seeing enough? Because if you are not seeing the fullness of what you should be, then there may be an optical problem. Your lens may need to be cleaned. Your lens may need to be changed. They may need to be enhanced so you can actually see yourself where you are now, where you are supposed to be, and see what it's going to take for you to get there. And if you think about lens, a lens is something extra that are used with what's there. Every lens I talked about earlier are an addition to your actual eyes, okay? The lens in your life, sometime it's going to be another person, because there are people who push you, people who encourage you, because they see so much in you that just about every time they see you, they probably remind you of it. Or they may go a little bit of a while, but they say something to you about it. Or you may have an idea and they push you to expound on that idea. Or you may create a product and they're pushing you. They want to encourage you to do something with that product. Why do they do that? They do that because unlike what you're seeing when you look at yourself, they see the bigger part of what you're doing. They see how phenomenal you are. They see how global you can become. They see how what you look at as just a hobby or something to do, you can actually go out and make a business out of it. You can make millions out of it. And that's what those people are designed to do. And if you don't actually take time to look at yourself the way other people do, you may miss out on a lot in life. Again, people do that, and sometimes you get frustrated. You get aggravated. Why do they always say this to me? Why are they always coming at me? Why do they always feel like they gotta tell me this? They have to tell you that because they will be robbing you if they didn't actually do it. Now, here's a question for you. If I were to walk up to you and try to rob you, would you allow me to do it? And if I overtook you, would you not put up some type of fight or want to fight? See, when people feel the need to put encouraging words in you, if you don't allow that, you're robbing yourself. So if you rob yourself, you shouldn't have a problem if I tried to come and rob you because you've already done it for yourself. You haven't given yourself the permission or the opportunity to go on the different levels you can become. So you should have a problem if I were to do it. So this is why people do this to you all of the time. You may not like it. You may get tired of them. You may try to figure out why don't they go and bother somebody else, because they're assigned to you to get you to see what it is you're not looking at. They're only doing what they're supposed to do, and it's really for your benefit. So it's best to listen to people when they're constantly telling you something. Look at that person and look at how they think. And if they're thinking on big levels and you're only thinking small, guess what they're doing? They're trying to make you so uncomfortable to where you just say, you know what, let me at least just take a look at it. That's why people push you like they do. That's why they encourage you like they do. That's why if they see you open one business, they talk about something else, because they know you have the capability of to make that other one succeed just like you're making the first. Or because you may be doing something where somebody above you get the most benefit, they want you to get the benefit for yourself. They want you to actually grow yourself. So your lens are going to be that other person or those other people who are constantly pushing you, constantly putting good seeds in you, because they see what you have in them. What it is, here's what I want you to think about. They see your greatness. You look at yourself as greatless. You don't see your full potential. You don't see what you could become. You don't see how phenomenal you are supposed to be, but that person can, which is why they continually over and over again. And it's sad if you get aggravated. It's sad if you get upset about it. They're only doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you should appreciate when somebody can see that much good in you. You should thank them for it when they see that much good in you. So here's a couple of tips for you. Number one, recognize that person or those people as a mentor. Everybody can use a mentor. Even if you are a business owner, sole proprietorship, doing you just by you, you can use a mentor. There's somebody who's traveled that same path who you can look at for guidance. It doesn't mean you're not trying to be your own person. You're not trying to be original, but everybody can use a guide. No matter how many times a contract to build a house, they always look at a blueprint because they want to make sure they have every aspect of that house just right. Because when that buyer wants to buy it or that inspector looked at it, it has to be exactly as it was drawn. Or what good is it? So there's no problem with having a mentor. With that, surrender your pride. Surrender your pride. Pride is extremely damaging. And when you feel as if you have too much pride, you can't listen to anybody or nobody can tell you anything, you're heading down a dark road with no type of light. So surrender your pride, because there are people who just literally want to help you. Understand this in your life. Everybody don't want to take away from you. Some people want to put in you to build you for you to be more. Everybody don't want to take advantage of you. Yes, you're going to have people who try to, and you're probably going to have people who do it. You may have several people who attempt it and several more who do it before you realize, okay, you know what? This is a jewel right here. And that jewel see me in the same way. That jewel wants to invest in me. So when you see that, you have to recognize that person is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They can see your future right now. It's as if somebody else have binoculars on your life. That even though they're looking at you right here, you're far away, but they can see it. They're just trying to get you to see it in the same. So lesson for today, the other lens, make sure you respect those people who are really trying to get you to do more than what you're doing. Don't get aggravated with them. Don't get frustrated. Don't wonder why it's you. It's you for a reason. Because if it weren't them who's doing it, it may not be anybody else. So understand the value they bring and the value they're trying to get out of you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great one.